This video will walk you through the steps of using a published Google Slides for the agenda. In the Canvas course, you'll find the agenda or lesson plans that work for your position. When the preview screen opens, you will click Use Template. This has now made a copy of the document in your Google Drive. Now that you have a copy in your Google Drive, go to File, make a copy of the entire presentation. What you'll do once you're making this copy of the entire thing, that way you'll have both the original download and the copy that you're working on, rename it, and you can rename it so that it can be the same name for the whole year. So this is Mrs. Salt's weekly agenda for the 2021-2022 school year. And then I want to put it in a file where it's going to be easy to look at for the entire year. So I created a folder here for the agenda. Agenda's right there. So I'm going to click that, and this is the folder that I want to place it in. Since I'm in the second copy, I have the one that I downloaded from the template, and then I have this one. And this note is not for students and families. On another tab up here, I still have this, and I could place that into the same folder. So if I need to reference all of the requirements, it's here. But in the one that I'm going to share with students and families, I'll click this slide to delete it. And then the next thing that I want to do to know that it's ready is press File, Publish to the Web. That gives me a Publish to the Web pop-out box, and I'll press Publish, and it wants to know, are you sure? I'll press OK, which will then give me a URL, and I can press Control-C to copy, and then exit out of this screen. I then went over into my Google Classroom that I have set up for next year, and in Classwork, I'm going to press Create, Material, and for that material, I'm going to add a link, and that link is what I just copied from the published agenda. And then press Add Link. To paste it in there, I clicked in and pressed Control-V, and now I can add my link. So my link is here, and I want to change my title to something that, again, will say this is the agenda for the entire year, give a description that matches what I want students to see, and then I'm going to change my topic to agendas and materials, and I'm going to keep this for all students. However, if you needed to have an agenda that was visible to only certain students, if you need to differentiate or want to differentiate, you could use the drop-down menu and pick which students see that agenda, and then that will again be there. You won't have to do that every week, one time in the year, making those changes, and then you would post it. And then you can see that the material is available here in Agendas and Materials, and it will be available for the entire year to the students that you have assigned it to. And then that step, you're done, wash your hands of it, and all you need to focus on is working on putting in your actual lesson plans on the different weeks. Once you've downloaded the template, you are going to make sure that the schedule follows the time order of what your day is so that it makes the most sense, but then it does not need to stay separated on 4 slides for every day. I'm going to make a few adjustments and say that Mrs. Salt can make it so that within 3 slides she can show everything that she needs to for the day. I've made the adjustments, and for the sake of this, we'll say this is completely filled out and it is going to go for the first week of school. Now Mrs. Salt is ready to plan for the second week of school. The slide that has group names on it won't need to be copied, only focusing on the actual plans for the week. So the first thing, when you select the first slide, you will then hold the Control button, and while you're holding the Control button, then click on slide 2 and 3 so that all 3 are selected. You'll right-click on those selected slides. It will give a pop-up menu, and we want to duplicate the slides. The next thing that I want to do is skip these slides. That way I know the skipped ones are the ones that I'm working on. It also means that the students cannot see them because they are hidden. Then you would want to retitle what week you're planning for on all 3 of the slides. So that each of them is marked for what week the plans go to. When Miss Salt is ready and it is the beginning of the next week, it's September 6th, what she'll be able to do is, again, select all of these. So clicking on the first slide, holding the control button, clicking the other 2 that go with it. And then if you click and drag them up, they will then move to be the top of them because they will be ready for the new week. Once you're ready for the new week, then you're also ready for the students to be able to see them, so they need to not be hidden anymore. Right click, and there will be the check marks next to skip slides. Click that again, and now they are visible to the students on the published page. The week before that will then be right underneath it, so then you're going to want to take a look at this group slide. Select the group slide and pull that up so that it ends up after your current week, before then the week that was before it. When you feel that the students no longer need access to a previous week, you can then select them, click the first one, hold Control, select the other 2, and you can skip the old weeks. So they're still there for you to reference if you need to, but they're no longer available to the students. From the student view, now that we've made all of these changes, they will be able to select and see the agenda. And on their screen, it will come up like this. So they will see the slides down here and they can navigate through the day. So even though there are other slides there's 7 slides on the teacher's version, they will only see the ones that are visible and not skipped.